All right, hello. So before I start, one thing I realized is I have not fully introduced myself. So I am Shane. I am a Pokemon content creator, and I made this channel so that I can share my journey and share my experience with building up to that moment. So I first started January 29th, 2025. And what a video journal basically is where I write in my journal every night and I say most of what I wrote in my journal. And I've been doing that for almost 6 months now. And back then, January 29th, 2025, I was dealing with school and work on top of each other, which doesn't seem too bad, except for the fact that I was also dealing with depression and other issues. So it was not the ideal situation for sure. I was really struggling with grades. I was getting to the point where I was honestly giving up on classes because I just could not push myself to do it no matter how hard I tried. There was just zero motivation left. One of my favorite quotes from that time was, "Fortunately, pain builds character, and I'm gonna need character where I'm headed." I tried my best to keep as positive of a mindset as I possibly could because a negative mindset doesn't get you very far. But it was a struggle to keep pushing. It was very overwhelming for me. One of the big issues I was dealing with mentally was an existential crisis. I My worldview and my relationship with God was just out of whack because I me and my parents haven't gone to church in years, and I realized that I had no reasons backing my very not not strong already my belief in God that already wasn't very strong. So I was just like, once I actually had that realization, I was like, oh my gosh, what is real? And it really sucked. I was really struggling with that. I was wondering if life was even worth living at some days, and it was rough. It was rough trying to deal with all of the overwhelming stuff that came with that. But I was very fortunate that I genuinely believe that has tried to contact me. I So in school, one day I was sitting at lunch and I see a friend that I haven't talked to her in probably a few months because we don't have any classes together. And she was like, "Hey." So she said that she had that lunch that one day just because of a few tests she had, so she had a different lunch. And we were talking, we are getting philosophical and talking about God and all that sort of stuff. And I come home that day. I go to YouTube and I see a video. "You're waiting for God, but God's waiting for you." And under it, I see a video with the same title by a totally different person. And I was just absolutely in shock because I was just talking to her about how I didn't know where I was going with my relationship with God. I didn't know what to believe. I was kind of just really stuck and overwhelmed, and that was that really fit the situation. And another time I was talking to my mom having a similar thing where I was just like worried and questioning a bunch of things. And I see a video that day. This was roughly a month later. "God knows your faith is not in him," is the title was. And I was just like, whoa, that 100% fits the situation I'm in too. So I don't know, like I'm looking at that and I'm still trying to figure out everything 100%, but I can't lie, there are times where I'm just like that statistically doesn't seem like it could possibly be a coincidence. Like it was just It was insane. Like, I was genuinely just shocked seeing both of those messages at the right time. And luckily for me, there was one really good thing about school. One very good thing. My video production class. I had a bunch of very, very nice people there. I worked with more with these two girls. Their names were Moira and Ari, and we were making videos together, and we were just having a lot of fun. They were my go-to partners, and we were just having so much fun together. And everybody there was so nice. They were constantly like hyping me up, giving me comments. And I even remember making a video that basically became a cult classic, and everybody was talking about it the whole year. And I really enjoyed that class. It was the big thing that made me realize, wait, I should actually pursue content creation. Because I realized that I am actually entertaining people, and I am actually like, people are actually liking it, and people are actually enjoying what I'm providing. And it was just such a great experience that really helped boost my confidence a little bit more. And I think I really needed that at the time. And without it, I'm really not sure if I'd be here right now. So that class was honestly life-changing. It was sad to leave school, especially because of that class. And work too. I really loved my job. I worked at Chick-fil-A for 2 years and 2 months roughly, I think it was. And everybody there was just amazing. Everybody was amazing. I had like no beef with anybody. Everybody was just nice to me. Everyone was great. It was a fun job. It was literally the best first job I could have asked for. It was amazing. It was great. I just loved it. I still every once in a while see one of my good Chick-fil-A friends hop in on stream, and I'm always happy to see him again. I'm always really happy to see him again. Some of the big things I've learned as I have started content creation. So I started after I was done with school. I told myself I'm going to get through school and work. I'm going to push through. I'm going to keep going. And I am going to start content creation after I'm done. And I took a week off, and then I started. And some of the biggest things that I've learned through content creation is one of the big things that the video journals have taught me was communication and how I struggle with communication. I've started to realize like a lot of my problems that I've had, I could have solved quicker if I would have just been a better communicator and asked for help. I have also learned that with depression that I've built a lot of empathy. I used to not be a very emotional, empathetic person, but I've really started to see that more in myself now. And it's been a very, very good thing. I've really built empathy a lot more than I used to. And I've really gotten more connected emotionally with myself because of it. And another thing I learned, I went on vacation in the middle of my content creation journey a few weeks ago. And we got this nice big house. We rented this nice big house because we had the whole family with us, and it was just a very lot of people. So we rented this big house, and I realized how little I value material items. Like, yes, I know I have a bunch of like plushies behind me. I get that. I have my little collections. However, when it comes to like big ticket items like houses, and I'm a car guy, so like cars don't really count there. But when it comes to big ticket items like houses and stuff, I really realized that material possessions really don't bring a lot of happiness. Like, I went into the house, and I mean, like, yeah, it was cool, but it didn't bring me any sort of excitement. It was just like, okay, it's a big house, and like, It just wasn't that cool to me. I'm starting to realize like all I need are my needs. Like that's it. That's all I need. All I need are my needs. You don't need all this crazy stuff. You don't need all these. You don't need all to spend all this money. And the thing is, if you chase bigger and better in the material world, you'll be overwhelmed with the endless things that aren't good enough. You'll be overwhelmed by just because we're constantly improving, we're constantly getting better and better things, and you will just get overwhelmed by not having good enough stuff. Like it's that simple. And one of the big things I've learned very recently, as I've started my content creation journey, I realized I was getting kind of upset with myself. I was like, I'm not growing in terms of communication fast enough. I'm not growing I thought I wasn't growing in general fast enough. But and I was like, what do I need? What do I need? And I eventually just got to the point where I burnt myself out. I was just feeling really crappy. I felt horrible. I felt so bad one night that I couldn't sleep. I wrote a journal entry at 4 a.m. and it had some pretty sad stuff now, I'm not gonna lie. But one of the big takeaways from it is I said that I was basically stuck and didn't know what to do. And that was very saddening because I put my all into content creation and it wasn't working out. And so I get up that morning. I scroll on YouTube for a bit. I still feel horrible. I don't know what to do. I'm stuck. And I see a video titled, "You don't need more discipline. You need more love." And that video has changed my life. There was this girl and she's just telling a life story, and she talks about how you need to put love at the center of your life. And and she talks about self-love and how self-love is really important. You need to put love and self-love at the center of your life. And the more that I've been worrying about self-love and doing it for me and being like, I want to be a content creator because I love doing it and I appreciate where I am right now and I love myself for who I am right now. And I love myself so much that I want to keep pushing myself to do better. Once I adopted that mindset, it has been way less stressful and it has been way easier to keep pushing. And I am so, so thankful for that video. I don't know where I'd be without that video. I don't know how much longer I could have kept pushing because I was just pushing out of self-hate. I was like, I'm tired of being where I am. I'm tired of not feeling good enough. I'm going to keep pushing harder and harder, harder and keep growing and growing and growing. But that is just not the way to do it. It's not. It doesn't work out. The burnout is quick if you do it, if you try to go off of negativity. You can't go off of just negativity. It doesn't work that way. All right. And before I leave, I just want to say that thank you for everybody who has gotten this far. And I just want to say that I really want to provide joy to this world. I really love making people laugh and smile, and I love Pokemon, and I want to share Pokemon with everybody. And it's not an easy road. I have to compete with the sea of people, but it is a very fulfilling one. All right. Well, easy choices, hard life. Hard choices, easy life.